Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. It is Wednesday afternoon, and I welcome you to Craft Spot. This is where we, head down the path on my crafting adventure. And today is probably going to be a little bit of an adventure, a little bit of a different day, because I have a few different things I just want to share with you. So we will do that. But I hope everyone is having an awesome week. I don't know where where you are and what the weather's like where you are. It's not like last week. Last week we had this little sneak peek taste of summer, actually, even more than spring, and it was glorious. It was lovely. And now we're kind of back into um, not so much snow in winter, but late winter where the days are still cool and windy, and we've had some rain, we've had some wet snow, we've had some just general yuckiness. And so even though we knew last week was just a taste and it wasn't going to last, it still makes this week kind of tough. But anyway, here we are. It's a good day to be inside crafting, although it is sunny out today, which is nice. So if you are joining me, do say hello. Let me know that you are watching, or let me know that you're taking in the replay. And always love to know who is joining me and sharing in on this adventure. So, few things for today. First and foremost, free shipping today only. So, if there are some things that you want or need, things that you want to stock up on, today's a great day to do it. You do need a minimum $100 order, but sadly, let's face it, it doesn't take that long to get to $100 when you're shopping for just about anything these days. So the new catalog is coming. It will go live at the beginning of May, and there might be some price increases coming. So, like everything else, things are a little bit more expensive. And so those some of those new prices will be reflected in the catalog. So today is an awesome time to stock up on some of the card stock that you might be getting a little bit low on, or maybe a color that you've been looking at in the catalog that you haven't added to your craft stash yet. Great day. Another color, and maybe a spring color. Pick something bright and happy and not cold and wintry. Envelopes, adhesive, those are all great things to stock up on, and you will save because you get free shipping. So it's you will also save if any of those prices are going up in the new catalog, because these are things you're going to order at some point. Order them now. Paper Pumpkin prepaid subscriptions. Say that 3 times fast. Those are also included in this sale. Now you do need $100. So if you got a 3-month, I believe, is $90 or 90 and change in that neighborhood. So then you could add on a pack of cardstock or something. Or if you got a 6-month or a 12-month, shipping is free today. So that is going to save you a nice chunk of money if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, and if you're on pay as you go, and you plan to keep subscribing, why not just get a prepaid code and then you can save on the shipping? And so lots of ways to save money today. So don't miss out. It's all over at the end of the day today. So I don't want you to miss out on that. Okay, next important thing, because the new catalog is coming, I'm planning lots of crafting and stuff. I am going to offer an in-color club. I am going to offer an in-color sampler kit, and these will both give you an opportunity to try and or to collect the in-color products that are coming. So sort of different in colors this year. Some people I know have showed it, but I don't have anything ready to do that just yet, perhaps next week. But they are sort of earthy tones this year, other than boho blue, which we did get a sneak peek at during Celebration. If you joined as a new demonstrator during Celebration, January and February of this year, you could have selected the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. in boho blue, which is one of the new in colors. So we did have a sneak peek at that, and there are 4 other colors joining it for a 5-color in color palette. And the other colors are neutral, earthy sorts of tones. So I will share them all with you very, very soon. The new catalog is going live, and if you would like a paper copy, please let me know. I am more than happy to send you a copy of that. I will be sending them out to anyone that has shopped with me in the last 6 months. So if you are a regular customer of mine, then your catalog is going to be coming to you. But if that's not the case and you would like to start shopping with me and you'd like to see a paper catalog before you make your decisions on exactly what you want to order, let me know. I'd be happy to send you one. Okay, let's put this down to the craft space. Going to replace this because you've probably been staring at me long enough, right? So today, something I've been meaning to do for a long, long time, and I am finally getting to it, is to share some of the beautiful handmade birthday cards that I received. My birthday was like, less than a month ago. Okay, so, and I was away for my birthday. So this is actually not that far behind. I feel so much better now. I was thinking I was way behind on sharing this, but it's not too bad. But anyway, here we go. So this beautiful card was made by my dear friend Lorna, and look at this. This is an awesome card for right now. Look at these beautiful strips of designer series paper that she has used to create this gorgeous pattern across here. And what a wonderful way to use up some of your bits and pieces of designer series paper, which is kind of where we are now, right? There's new designer series paper coming. We know that. And so it's a great time to be using up the little bits and pieces and scraps that we have. So there's an awesome idea. Look, she has banner-ended some of these, and then she's alternated that with is that a reverse banner? Is that also a banner? I don't know. But some are poking out and some are poking in. So there you go. So there is the first awesome card that I received. And I don't think I have them all down here, but I have 3 of them. So I'll share 3 with you for today. This card was sent to me by my dear friend Terry, who is a demonstrator in the United States. And you know her from our online global crafting group. And in fact, we have a meeting tomorrow to talk about our next retreat that's coming in July. So get ready. Anyway, this is the two-tone floral, fancy floral designer series. No, Petal Park. My apologies. It's not two-tone floral. It's Petal Park designer series paper. And this is really pretty flowers and stamp set and dies and beautiful designer series paper that goes with that. And this card is from Sarah, who is a demonstrator in Australia, another one of my friends who is also part of the online global crafting group. And she sent me this card from Australia. I thought it was interesting because I was looking and I thought, why is that card large? If you put this card over top, you will notice that it is a little bit taller, but ever so slightly narrower. And that's because in Australia and the UK, their cardstock is different sizes. So their standard cards are different sizes. Creates for a lot of converting when we are preparing for our retreat. But we're getting better at it. We're getting faster. So, but this is the card that she sent to me, and this is the Dainty, I think it was called Dainty Designs. It was the celebration paper that coordinates with the Dainty Delights bundle from the mini catalog, and a little sneak into the new catalog. The stamp and die set is carrying over to the new catalog, and I will be using that next week on CraftSpot. At least that's my plan right now. We'll see how it all goes. Okay. Coming up in May 13th, I will be hosting a Stamp-A-Stack. So I am going to be doing that down near Toronto, GTA. So if you're anywhere GTA area, specifically Markham, but it's not too far to travel if you're anywhere in the GTA, and you would like to join me for a whole afternoon of crafting, lots of crafting, stamp a stack style. So we're going to make 16 cards and see new products and just have a craftacular afternoon. I would love to have you join me on that. So you can find all the information about that on my social media, in my newsletter. If you have not subscribed to my newsletter, first of all, shame on you. But go to greatstampingwithconnie.com and you can sign up there to my newsletter, and then you will be in the know about everything that's going on. Hello, Gail, welcome. So, some crafting. Um, Today is free shipping, and the last chance list has been out since the beginning of the month, and I was looking at it, trying to find a stamp set that I own that is retiring that I could share with you today. And I'll be honest, it was very slim pickings. Um, so many of them have sold out already. And that's why I suggest that you stock up on some of your cardstock and adhesive, envelopes, those sorts of things. So, and there are still stamp sets out there that and stamps and dies and all the rest of it, but a lot of the products that are retiring that were on last chance have actually sold out. So what are we doing today? We are cleaning up as I start to cycle in new products. I'm pulling out old products, trying to get ready for the new catalog and all the rest of it. So I am out with the old and with the new kind of thing. And I'm cleaning up and I'm finding bits and pieces of things. So this is Gorgeous Grape, and I had die cut that a little while ago, and then it didn't really suit the card I was making. So it got set aside. And here we are. And now today I'm using it. So I have pulled it out. I mounted it on some designer series paper that I've just glued down. I think it was from the A Wash and Beauty, one of the back pages from A Wash and Beauty that had just this sort of modeled look to it on the front, and it was lovely. So I'm just looking for a little something to put on the inside now, because I'm going to mount that onto a Gorgeous Grape card base. And so I want to put something inside. And of course, I didn't plan this. So let's just, go for ink. My typical life. So this is Gorgeous Grape, and I am just going to bring it in here, and just going to stamp this down on the bottom just so it's not completely plain. There we go. Close this up. And I have to tell you, I must take a moment to clean my stamp, because the other week when I had sort of messed up and then I was trying to catch up very, very quickly and I didn't clean my stamp, I completely forgot at the end of my live, and they sat there overnight, and that's not really what I want to do with them. So take a moment to clean up my stamps as I go. Okay, and we are just going to put this down. So I just added this to a piece of basic white cardstock just to get a little contrast going. Wasn't quite sure what colors I wanted, but that. And then this was sitting on my desk. This is old. I do believe this is from something that is retired, but today's cleanup day. So guess what? We're using whatever we found. I've just been pulling bits and pieces out of all over the place, and that's what we're doing. So if you cut things and you don't use them right away, gather them up. Have a spot where you can drop them. And then from time to time, you can go in there and just, you know, pull things out and add just a couple of little bits and pieces or something and have a card ready to go. I'm thinking this might be nice with some ribbon. I'm just not sure what I have. So, okay, maybe not that nice with ribbon. Maybe a little bit of gem going on. Maybe some like I don't really see anything in there that breaks my fancy for what I want. But I think we could put some of these brushed metallic dots. We're going to put one right in the middle there. And then we'll just sprinkle on a couple more. There we go. Alrighty, there's a quick birthday card. See, when you do this, whoops, I need to I need to put the inside on the inside. But when you have these bits and pieces around, you can create cards very, very quickly. Look, I'm at the end of the rope for my adhesive in there, but that's okay. We have another one. Hello, Donna. Welcome. And I'm not sure if you've been on your email a whole lot today, but I have sent I have sent you a couple of emails regarding free shipping. I wasn't sure if you were going to do an order today or not, but if you are, please get in touch with me. Okay, now here's so this is from my April card class. I was doing a card that had soft succulent, and I die cut it with a picture of this, and then we did some things. And anyway, to me, these they're crooked. They're not overly crooked. They're just ever so slightly crooked, but I noticed it, and now I can't unsee it. So it was kind of like, oh, what am I going to do with those? But so I set them aside, and today I'll show you what I'm going to do with these because there aren't really very many mistakes in crafting. There are only opportunities, and so we are going to take advantage of an opportunity to do something a little bit different with this. So I want this yellow to show because I am using a Daffodil Delight card base. So I want to get as much of that as I can, which means I'm probably going to have to trim my paper because I cut it to size, but now I'm not mounting it down. Look, I did put glue all over the place, but I'm just going to wipe this off of here for now so that it doesn't end up absolutely everywhere. And then I will just trim this to size. I knew that was going to happen because that was the very edge of the designer series paper. This is the Fancy Flora designer series paper as opposed to the Petal Park that was on that birthday card that I shared. But this was the very edge of the paper, so I couldn't move it down any further. So, okay, and then this is a Daffodil Delight card base. And I am going to put this on here, but look, I'm going to do it like this so that your eyes are fooled. Because when you put things on angles, then you don't notice it's only slightly off. So when you put it on an angle, for the most part, nobody's going to notice. If they do, well, then their eye is even more trained. What I don't know. Anyway, they see things that I would overlook. straight on, if it's crooked, it does, and I've seen it, as I say, I can't unsee it, but this I would not notice. So then I also had a little bag with some bits and pieces. This is stuff I had done, I believe, with a blender brush. Looks like a blender brush to me. Just kind of, you know, sitting around and looking for a nice place to go. And I'm thinking, here's a nice place to go. And this again, I think this might be retired. So I don't generally share retired items with you, but it's a good time to go into your stash of stuff that's ready to go and see what you have. And what I have is, I think this was many messages. So you stamped a whole page and then you die cut them all, and so then you get a whole bunch at once. And be strong, be brave. You've got this. Oh, I'm so happy to celebrate these moments with you. So many nice sentiments here. Thinking of you with sympathy and prayers. Well, that's not such, I mean, it's nice, but it's not nice, right? It's not nice if you need it, but something like that might work, right? Okay. So these, when I did them, I don't think I had adhesive sheets on them. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like there's adhesive sheets, but I'm just going to poke at this and see if something peels off. No, I'm going to say there is no adhesive sheet on this. It's just cardstock, so I'm going to have to glue it carefully. But that's okay, we can do that. So I'll just put this leaf down. It's a great way to use up your scraps, get some quick and easy cards made. Because who doesn't have scraps sitting around, right? Sadly, we usually have too many. And every now and again, we just need to spend a little time using them. Catalog changeover is often that time for me as I'm, you know, as I say, pulling out the current things and taking things off my shelf and cleaning up the craft studio. What a concept. I think I'm going to pop this up with some little tiny dimensionals. And as much as it feels good to use up these things, I have to confess that what I am using today is just a small portion of what I have to be used up. So, you know, it's a happy moment, but it's only the very beginning of a long road if I was going to try and use all my bits and pieces that I have sitting around. So, right over to this edge. And then I'm just going to tuck this underneath because I popped. This is the tricky part when you've got something on an angle, trying to get other bits and pieces on straight. So because that is popped up, I can just tuck this underneath afterwards very easily. That's what we will do. Right in. And then I don't think I want that piece, so I'm going to leave him off. And what do we want to add to this? Not really that so much. Just flipping through my gems here to see what I have. Because I do have lots. We know this, don't we? I have pearls. Oh, they might, that might be kind of nice. And they're hearts, so that's sort of appropriate for a sympathy card, isn't it? Just need to, this looks like it's a little bit off the, so because they're hearts, I want to kind of watch the angle that I'm putting them on so that the hearts are facing upwards. There we go. Okay, look at that. 2 down. 2 down, 1 to go. Just gonna stick all of these sentiments back into the little bag that I have, since I don't need it for the next card, I don't think. So here again, I have another one of these. When I cut for card classes, see, the good news is I tend to cut, I cut in twos. So I cut double thickness, which is great when you're preparing lots of cardstock and things for classes. But it's not great when you mess up, because then you have two that you can't use for your class that you have to find another use for. So, but that's okay, because now we have another use. And this is from the By the Bay. I think it's By the Bay. Seaside Bay? Seaside Bay. Specialty Designer Series paper. There's the specialty. I'm not even using it because I really liked the seashells. And here's my next confession. This is soft succulent because that's what I was using in the card class. This is actually mint macaron, but I looked at it and I thought, you know what? I can get away with that. So I am going to give it a go and hopefully will coordinate. I think that it does coordinate okay. This has just a couple little, the most minuscule amount of Designer Series paper is sticking out here. But of course, I don't really want that. So we're just going to shave a tiny bit off of there and a tiny bit off of here. There we go. I think that's better. Soft succulent card base, and again, I am going to mount this on an angle so that it tricks your eye and you don't realize that it's perhaps not perfectly centered or perfectly straight, I guess was the problem. It was a bit on an angle. Okay. There we go. Get that down there. And then I also had this, You're in My Thoughts Today, and I was thinking just put that onto there with some dimensionals. This is from the Seaside Bay. Okay, now, so here's the tricky part. Put your card base straight, so the bottom is straight, and then don't look at this angle, just look at the bottom card base. Trying to line it up straight. I think it's straight. Now, this needs something a little bit bright, I think. These are opals are a little bit shiny. And, what else do we have that we could use? We could go right to bronze. Oh, look, these could have used those. Oh, well. Excuse me. Maybe we'll use these opals on here. As soon as I find what I did, oh, with my take your bit tool. Now these are, oh, there is 2 sizes here. Okay, so grab one of these big boys and maybe a couple of these smaller ones. It's not like they're small, but they are smaller. There we go. Okay. So there you have it. Using up 2 pieces that weren't quite right, putting them on an angle, and then you won't even notice. It'll just look like that was how I designed it. At least that's my hope. So for anyone that was watching, what was this? This was my card class, and then I used this at, no, it was Card Club. Card Club, we got blending brushes were part of the kit in April, so the beginning of the month. And then I used this on other things, and I was telling you that if you wash it, you can get all the color out. So if you recall, this was blue and green and pink, and it was all mixed up, and it was getting quite dark. It was sort of brown by the time I was finished with everything. So I've washed it, and now it's white again. So you can wash these. I washed this one, actually, I guess it was last week. So it's just been sitting drying. So it's totally dry right now. It's ready to use again, but it's all completely clean. So you can wash your blending brushes. You don't have to, depending how you decide you want to use them. If you want to just do them by color or however you want to do them. Okay, whoops. There we go. Look, I'm back. Okay. So thank you so much for hanging out with me as I continue on my crafting adventure of cleaning up the craft studio a little bit and using up some bits and pieces. It feels so good when you get some quick cards made and you used up some pieces that had been sitting around that, you know, they looked great. They just didn't work at the time for whatever you had prepared them for. And then you come back and you have a chance to use them on another card. And now they have a new home and they will be ready to be sent out to someone. So thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome day, and I hope to see you all again really soon. Take care. Bye for now.